If you know me well, you'll know that I've always had a great love for food. I mean, growing up in Italy, it was almost a given that my passion for it would develop at an early stage. From sweet treats to savoury dishes, I mean, you name it, I'd probably like it and shove it down my pie hole. And although some of you may know this, some will not, in that I haven't always been the skinny twig that I am today. And in fact, was quite the chubby kid growing up. I mean, I guess it was to be expected when you're pounding down bowls of pasta, tiramisu and pizza like it was nothing. But nonetheless, after years of being that chubby kid, I crash dieted and became practically the opposite, a skinny stick insect with practically no gains to show. Not that I have many to show at the moment, to be honest. But anyway, from there, I slowly reversed back up to where I ultimately am today, lean and somewhat muscular, although that is highly debatable. But the point is, I've been through basically everything, okay? Fat, skinny, normal, etc. And I've learned a lot through doing so. Therefore, that is the exact goal of this video, a step-by-step walkthrough of my top 10 tips to lose fat properly to help set yourself up for success and avoid spinning your wheels, making all the mistakes that I did. So if you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and without further ado, let's get started with tip number 1. Okay, we've just finished working out, and point number 1 is of course going to be to get active. But you're probably thinking that's the first thing I actually changed. It's not, because I was actually a really active kid, but I just ate like complete rubbish. Sort of shows that you can't really out-train a bad diet. And if you're plugging down a load of calories, no matter how active you are, you know, you can still be overweight. So for example, and to put it into perspective, that workout was literally sort of non-stop, very short breaks. An hour and a half of work is 1,000 calories. Whereas to consume 1,000 calories, it's as simple as literally just driving to the shop, buying a small, look at the size of this tiny little tub of ice cream, going home, sitting down for like 5 to 10 minutes with the only effort being like literally lifting your spoon to your mouth. And if another thing is certain, these are not going to help the process, okay? So yeah, I know it might seem obvious, but if you're not active already, get to the gym. I would recommend a mix of both cardio and lifting weights, but most importantly, find something you enjoy and can adhere to long term, okay? So yeah, let's get to point number 2. So yeah, tip 2 is short and sweet in that I started intermittent fasting, okay? I always had a big appetite, but was never really food focused in the morning. So by skipping breakfast, that allowed me to like bank a load of calories for later on in the day. And yeah, then when it came to break my fast, that's when we get on to point number 3. So yeah, point 3 was to make smart food swaps and actually get creative in the kitchen to almost trick yourself into eating less calories without you even realizing. Shocking, I know. So take my breakfast for an example. I never really told you this, but for breakfast I would literally go through a whole stack of these packet like crepes. Okay, so what, per 100 grams you are talking 205 calories, and there's 400 grams in that, so like 800 calories. And that's without any topping. So with every pancake I went for at least 1 serving of Nutella. I mean, no wonder I was a fat kid. That's like 1,300 calories for breakfast, okay? So yes, it was making smart food choices that helped me lower this. So for example, I made lower calorie versions of pancakes, and that brings me on to the first recipe of this video. But side note guys, oh my god, since when did SuperValu stock Halo Top? €4 as well. I'm not here for Halo Top, but that is very, very tempting. And sort of relevant to the video in that this is like another smart swap that I made. Instead of like a whole tub of Haagen-Dazs, I hopped on the Halo Top hype. But anyway, let's get back to the recipe. So the first ingredient you're gonna need is a sweet potato, any berry of choice, either fresh or frozen, a packet of eggs, some sort of cocoa powder or like low-calorie hot chocolate, a calorie-free sweetener of choice, some mini marshmallows, and of course, as we are bodybuilders, there's one more ingredient that we need, which is of course going to be some whey protein. So we're going for the Protein Works, the Billionaire Shortbread one. But yeah, those are all the ingredients you're going to need. Pretty simple, to be honest. And yeah, this recipe can literally be like made up in bulk, so you can actually save the batter and have for like multiple days of the week. So it's pretty easy, pretty tasty, and pretty convenient. So without further ado, cue the sexy b-roll and the voiceover in 3, 2, 1. And here we go, One Take Kid back in action. Literally, I have spent way too long putting this off, so I can't even remember what we're cooking. Yes, I can, but anyway, as always, okay, here we go, one take. The list of the ingredienti will be down below. So you get your potato, then you're gonna peel it, and retrospectively, I should have actually pricked this, so we were living on the edge because that I can't swear on YouTube. Oh god, I've messed it up already. That could have exploded in the microwave. But then anyway, it's pretty simple. From there you weigh out all of the other ingredienti, okay, and put them all in a batter, except your marshmallows. Okay, then you spray a pan with non-stick cooking spray. Boop, 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 boop. Heat the pan, and then you're gonna pour in the batter to make the pancake, and then you put the marshmallows on top. So then you get a nice little sort of semi-solid marshmallow once it's cooked. Perfetto. And there we go, people, the anabolic stack of pancakes of peace, okay? Far lower calorie than like 1,300. So in terms of macros, you're talking 497 calories, 48 grams of protein, 65 carbs, and only 5 grams of fat, guys, okay? And I know it's not going to taste exactly like Nutella crepes, but with some good cooking skills, you can get pretty close and trick yourself. That's what I was saying. Usually I'd be used to having pancakes, so technically I made pancakes, but they're far lower calorie. I get the same sort of food volume, the same sort of kick, but at a lower calorie cost. So yeah, that is going to be recipe number 1, and sort of brings us on nicely to point number 4. So point number 4 is I started tracking my calories using an app like MyFitnessPal, okay? There's only so much good making smart food swaps can do until you actually need to know how much is going in your body to be able to make adjustments, okay? So at first, just set yourself like a calorie and a protein goal, maybe like 1 gram per pound of body weight for protein, and just let carbs and fats sort of fall into place. Don't get overly obsessive at this stage. Later on, you can dial it in, okay? And that sort of brings me nicely onto point number 5. Okay, so point number 5 is that once you do actually finally start tracking your calories, do not be filling them up with liquid calories or drinks, okay? And this was something that I was really bad at. And for the record, yes, we are at the motherland numero 2, literally making my rounds of the grocery shops again because I have no life, I have nothing better to do but provide you value through some sort of video. But anyway, back to liquid calories. I remember after school I would walk up to the shop with my mates and literally buy one of these Lucasades, like just 133 calories in that bottle, just completely wasted. And we didn't have like the low calorie zero ones available then. And even worse, I remember, oh dear. But yeah, I'm not joking when I say when I sat down for dinner with the fam, I used to drink probably 750 mils, nearly the whole carton, a litre of apple juice instead of water. And once again, okay, per 100 mils, it's not a lot, 39 calories, but when you have like 8 or 10 servings, that's like another 390 calories, 400 calories. I remember after hockey training as well, I would go to the shop and buy like a big one, not a small thing, of Muju, okay, because I needed the protein for recovery. And don't get me wrong, they're good, but per 100 mils, 74 calories, and this is like 750 mils, so that's like another 800 calories there. So from that, a swap I made was just going to like sugar-free sodas, in moderation, of course. I already know someone's gonna be there on the keyboard, oh, aspartame cancer. But the main change I made was just going for like flavored water. You can see already that's just like 6 calories. You know me, I'm also a huge advocate of like sugar-free squash. I'll probably pick one up actually, go for a blackcurrant one. Hopefully you get the idea, but yeah, while I'm here, let's pick up the ingredients you're gonna need for the next meal and the next recipe. And side note, once again, Tesco's Halo Top full price €6, the Ben & Jerry's is €4, so I think Super Value could be the way to go. But anyway, let's get back to the recipe. So the first ingredient is going to be some chicken or just any lean meat, a bag of vegetables, so we have some carrots, some peas, some green beans in there, that'll be perfect. Once again, you're going to need some eggs, then some soy sauce, ideally the reduced sodium one, and finally the goat. That is a big bag of cauliflower rice. And along with the recipe, that is actually going to bring us nicely onto point number 6. So let's bang out 2 birds with 1 stone and make the recipe and go over the next point. So point number 6, you probably guessed that it was going to come up in this video, is that I started eating for volume. I started bulking out my meals with low calorie density foods. So cauliflower rice, loads of vegetables, you know, lean meats. And this way, seeing as I had a huge appetite, I would be able to stay full while not scoffing down like high calorie density foods and saving a load of calories. So yes, that is going to be point number 6. Now, let's get making up this key recipe. It's going to be an anabolic Chinese egg fried rice, and it's super easy and can be like meal prepped for future days as well. So yeah, we don't even need some sexy b-roll and a voiceover in this. So here we go, we have the chicken in the wok and it's been seasoned with some soy sauce, the reduced sugar one, and then some ground cumin. And then in terms of the eggs, we have 2 eggs frying in a pan there. They're going to be scrambled up and then added to that, and then we're going to add like the whole bag, yes, a whole bag of the steamed cauliflower rice, and then like half a bag of this. So yeah, in this whole bag you get like 6 pouches. The volume king is back in town. Look at the amount of cauliflower rice in there. It's going to be super low calorie as well. Now the final thing to do is just add the eggs on top like that. You're just going to mix that around and let the egg sort of infuse with all of the goodness, and then of course you get your lid and let it simmer. And without further ado, we are eating once again out of bowls the size of our head, and oh my god, if you had smell-o-vision, this literally smells like a Chinese takeaway. So yes, that is going to be the meal. In terms of macros, you're talking 67 grams of protein, 42 grams of carbs, 17 fat, and 589 calories for a huge bowl. You could probably have half of that, and again, super easy to meal prep. But yes, as a kid I would love Chinese takeaway, but realistically, like, egg fried rice from a Chinese takeaway with all the sauces and stuff on the chicken dishes was hella high calorie, so I would substitute it with this. So that is another little diet hack. I'm going to get cracking into this and then touch on point number 7. Okay, so point number 7, we are actually in Killiney Hill, banging out some steps. If you've never been here, wait till you see some Irish vibes. But yes, point number 7 is going to be to increase your NEAT. Okay, this is my first ever Garmin, and back then I remember the first day that I wore it, literally my step count was like 2,000 to 4,000. That is terrible. Oh my god, this hill is very, very big. But yes, ideally get to like 10 to 12,000 steps per day, an easy way to burn calories. So yeah, let's see if we can get to the top and show you some vibes. Welcome to Ireland, the home of the potato. And I'm instantly regretting this, but oh my god, it is definitely worth it. On a nice day, it would be so much better. Look at the hills. We got the sea basically just on my own in the middle of nowhere. Then over this side we have, oh my days, we have this side here, which is pretty much Dublin Port is in there. Hopefully you can hear me over this wind. There's Dunleary, the harbour. But yeah, look at those vibes. Increase your steps, okay? Get to places like this. So yeah, it's minimal impact, an easy way to burn calories, psychologically beneficial, can actually help improve recovery, take your mind off food and snacking. And actually, yeah, speaking of snacking, let's move on to point number 8. So point number 8 is that I stopped snacking, okay? I was a huge snacker, especially on just junk. So like packets of Haribo, crisps, popcorn, which was good, but like cheesy popcorn, chocolate bars, bowls of cereal in between meals, even more calories, okay? And then seeing as those were so high sugar most of the time, I would just crash, okay? And then I would be lazy, and that would mean that I wouldn't increase my NEAT, and that is how you get fat over time. So yes, if you do want to snack, then I would ideally go for lower calorie, higher protein versions of snacks. And that brings me on nicely, of course, to point number 9. So yes, point number 9, and the protein fluff of peace has been made. And I haven't done this before, but look at the consistency. Oh baby. Greg Doucette, eat your heart out. Look at that, family, super creamy today. The link for the recipe will of course be down below. But yeah, point number 9 is going to be to increase your protein content in general, or just have high protein snacks, okay? Protein is very thermogenic, highly satiating, and realistically all my foods were sort of very high carb. You know, I would have like baguettes, high carb and fat as well, big cheesy baguettes, just loads of pasta and stuff, very minimal protein. And it was only when I started revolving my meals around protein that I actually felt far more satiated and didn't want to eat as much, okay? And also my recovery was good, and my general body composition sort of improved as a result. I really do think so. So yes, that is going to be a game changer tip. In terms of macros, you're talking like 100 calories, 20 grams of protein, like 2 carb and like 1 fat. So an absolute game changer. And we are out banging out the steps, and I am ticking off so many boxes here. So we're banging out the steps, walking down to get dinner, which in itself is going to be high volume, high protein, low calorie, still tasty as hell. So yeah, all of the good points. And just like that, we're at the motherland numero uno. That's right, 2 times in one day, but realistically they already think I'm a freak, so who cares? Anyway, I'll show you all the ingredients when we get home. But on the topic of smart food swaps, we've already had a sweet potato, so for dinner we are going to go for a butternut squash. Look at the size of this thing. And oh my god guys, this is scary, okay? She was literally just stocking the 20-cent area, and she's loaded them up with like the pancakes that I used to have for breakfast. 40 pancakes for literally 80. Oh well, this is embarrassing. 40 pancakes, look at all those, for 80 cents. My former fat self literally would have been like in heaven. Anyway, another swap would also be to go for the reduced fat cheese instead of the full fat. So yeah, either that or the light mozzarella. And just one final one as an example. Instead of the lean mince, no matter how lean it is, it's still 127 calories per 100 grams. Versus the likes of turkey mince, which per 100 grams is 108 calories. So not much difference. But all these small swaps do add up over time. And you've seen you can actually make really big impacts with the other swaps. And you know what? While I'm here, seeing as I know how much you like it, let's do an episode of The Little Adventures. Boom. So first on the list, American fan, where are you? An NFL. This actually looks legit. 20, oh my god, 20 euro. An NFL, American football. A frisbee, a toaster, a hot wax kit, an interactive memory trainer, some Spider-Man underpants, a Minion inflatable pool toy, a helmet, some Tupperwares, a fire extinguisher, and how can you not forget some buttery slime, of course. As always, if you enjoy the little adventures and want me to continue them, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, but for now, let's get making up this killer recipe. Okay, here we go. Another high volume recipe that I haven't included on the channel before. A stuffed butternut squash. Look at the size of this. But anyway, okay, so this is what you'll need. You'll need tomato sauce, some low fat cheese or fat free cheese, a leek or some spring onions, then any seasoning of choice. So we have cayenne pepper and some oregano, some garlic, some peppers, some turkey mince, and then of course your butternut squash. Look at the size of this thing. So yeah, seeing as this recipe is a little bit more complex, let's bring back Mr. Sexy B-roll and voiceover in 3, 2, 1. Hello guys, we are back. So here we go, the butternut squash of peace. Okay, here I was actually a very smart boy because I did actually prick it, so the microwave wouldn't have exploded. But anyway, you're basically going to slice it down the middle. There you go, I pricked it like a safe little boy. Slice it down the middle, then ramp it, oh dear God. Oh no, I'm not starting again, okay? Wrap it in kitchen paper, yes, that's what it's called. Dampen it, put it in the microwave, then you chop up all of your vegetables, okay? Then you're gonna preheat a pan with non-stick cooking spray, boop, 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 boop. Then season your turkey and put everything into the pan, okay? You're gonna let it simmer nicely, and that is gonna be the filling. All of this, of course, being done as the butternut squash is in the microwave, okay? And speaking of the microwave, when the butternut squash is finished, oh yeah, you can just add a few like Mediterranean herbs and stuff. There it is. Oh, beautiful. God, there is a big lag on this video. But anyway, when the butternut squash is finished, you take it out of the microwave, then you're going to score out the middle and make like a nice little boat for the Italian filling, okay? And then you're just going to transfer the filling into the into the little gap. Voiceovers are hard, difficult. Into the little gap or boat that you made, okay? And then you're going to put them on like a baking tray, top them with the cheese, and put them in the oven or just under the grill to melt, okay? And that is the wrap. No, it's not. It's a butternut squash. It's an Italian stuffed butternut squash. Oh my God. Comment One Take Kid is the goat down below if you want me to continue. Oh, jeez. Goodbye. Guys, I think this has to be my best one yet. If you had smell-o-vision, ragazzi, hai un profumo di un pizzeria qua dentro. That means that there's like a smell of like a pizzeria. It literally is like a low sort of calorie pizza. Oh my God, it's so heavy. You get so much food. So yeah, in terms of macros, you're talking 63 grams of protein, 102 carb, and 6 grams of fat if you find fat-free cheese, which most countries except for Ireland do. If not, then obviously the fat will be slightly higher. And then what I do, that's not including the inside, okay? What I do sometimes is keep the leftover, and the next day I'll do like a cheesy mash. So I'll like mash some cottage free. Oh, it's been a long day. Some fat-free cottage cheese in there and make like a mashed potato mix for another meal. But yes, that is the recipe, and if you try it out, please let me know. And you know what, you can do different countries, so you could do like an Indian or a Chinese spice one, but this is like a Mediterranean one. So yeah, let me know if you like it. Tag me in your Instagram stories, but I have a ton of work to catch up on, so I'm gonna heat this bad boy up and probably check back in with you in the morning. And just like that, it is the next day. Not the best workout, to be honest, probably a 7 out of 10. Not a whopper, but I'll take it, okay? They can't all be good ones. So that one is ticked off. Don't ask what that is, I don't know what it is. So yeah, that one is ticked off the list. Now let's wrap up the video. But you know what, that is sort of a final point in itself, in that you have to accept that this is a process, okay? And not every single workout or every single day diet wise is going to be bang on point, okay? But you have to take the bad with the good, and as long as the like overall trend is mostly good, then you'll be fine. Being consistently great is far better than inconsistently perfect, okay? So that is that. Again, hopefully you liked this video, gained a bit of an insight as to my background and how I got to where I am today, and of course are leaving with hella juicy recipes to try out. So don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to the channel. Hope you all have a good day, and see you all in the next video. Boop!